here's a disturbing statistic. I don't like it, but I'm going to read it to you. And I'm going to pray that it's not true, but I kind of think it is. Research finds that children ages 6 and younger only say thank you 20% of the time. Ugh! Isn't that what we do as parents? Like, how many times, and millions is the answer, by the way, do you say to your kid, say thank you, say thank you, say thank you? Well, apparently it's not sinking in because research shows that 6 and younger only say thank you 20% of the time. So if this happens in everyday life, now we're about to spoil them rotten for the holiday season, which, yes, is just as much fun for us as it is for them. We love seeing their faces light up. But how do we mesh the two? How do we say, look, I want to do this for you. I want to spoil you rotten. I want to give you these things you've been waiting all season for or all year for. And I want to do it for me, too, because it's fun to get and give presents on Christmas and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and whatever. But how do we mesh a little bit of gratitude and a little understanding of what parents need to do to make all of those gifts happen this holiday season? Good question, huh? You're thinking, sure, that's a really good question. Well, here to answer it is Larry Kallevig. Larry is the CEO of Haven Financial Group, and I want to welcome him to the show. Larry, welcome.
Well, thank you. Good evening.
It's so hard. It's hard because I actually said this to my kids the other day. I said, guys, get your Hanukkah lists in. And I thought to myself, what am I saying? Why am I telling you to give me a list of things that I'm going to go out and buy for you? You didn't earn those things. Like, what the heck is going on here? But that is part of the season. So where do we begin meshing the gratitude with the gluttony?
Well, it starts at home, obviously, with 4 daughters of my own. That is the key question.
Yeah.
But ironically, it's by giving them some money and giving them an education, whether it's a savings or whether it's an allowance or whatever it may be, to get them to understand, where really money comes from. What do the kids think? Money grows on trees. Mm-hmm. Well, for a lot of those kids, they really do think it grows on trees. Well, we know it certainly doesn't. So letting them experience their own money, making decisions, but teaching from those decisions, ultimately, that's where we can start the process.
Okay. So we give them like an allowance kind of thing and have them manage their own money?
With oversight from parents, of course.
It's funny that I've spoken to people about this before and got good advice, as I'm sure you give to your clients. They get the spend pile, the save pile, and the tzedakah, the charity pile. That's how we have, the 3-pronged bank for each kid. So with your allowance, you have the 3 buckets. You put some in spend, you put some in save, and you put some for charity. And it just seems to me, I have one kid who's a real good saver. And he saves a lot. And then he tells me, last week he saved $80. And he wanted to, this is over a few months, but he wanted to buy $80 sneakers. And I thought to myself, well, that's insane. Nobody needs $80 sneakers. That's crazy. Yet I had to check myself because this is what he'd been saving for. And he saved all of that money. So you know what? I let him buy the sneakers. It killed me, though. Oh, okay. That was the right thing because it kind of killed me. I'm like, why are you wasting money on sneakers? But he was excited about it.
And he earned them, and certainly there needs to be a discussion. And every kid, as we know, is going to take it differently, whether you have adult children or not. There's a spendthrift, there's a saver, and there's the one that really doesn't care.
Yeah, I have all 3 of those, actually.
Yeah, I think I do actually as well. Yeah. But starting the discussion at a young age, whatever that may be, that's where it starts. Whether it's, it's discussing from the family standpoint around the family dinner, what are you thankful? Just at least thinking about it at a very young age.
And you also say, so starting the discussion, then you also say with the allowance, they should be earning it, right? They should be working around the house. They should be doing some little chores.
Absolutely. Okay. Get the piggy bank going, and still obviously, chores, as we used to call it, chores and tasks. Earn an allowance. It doesn't have to be much, but make them earn it where they can see the value of, even at a young age, hard work can lead to greater rewards, whether it be, young or old.
Sure.
And there's just a lack there today.
I love your next tip. You call it the joy of giving. So you say, it's okay to make a wish list, for Santa or for, your parents, if it's Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or a different holiday. But you also say they should make a giving list as well, so they want to gift something or give to charity over this holiday?
Absolutely. Today is such a society of gimme, gimme, gimme. from all standpoints. But here, what we have is, let them have a wish list for Santa or family, whomever it might be. But at the same time, have them get a gift-giving list so you can ingrain them that it's just as much fun or more fun to give than to receive. Not that as kids they don't want to, get all happy when they do get a gift, and get them thinking about, well, who would you want to give to? And then take it a step further and say, okay, maybe as a family, volunteering, whether it be feed my starving children, whether it be just whatever it might be, that just gets them thinking beyond just me getting a Christmas gift.
I really like that. Yeah. So not only a list of I want to give something to grandma, whether it just be a pretty card or something with their lanyard or on their rainbow looms or whatever, but also really giving of your time for, to volunteer.
Absolutely. It doesn't have to be any cost at all. It can be a thoughtful gift.
I love it. And then you write also in your fifth tip, you write mistakes happen. Talk to me about what kind of mistakes you're talking about.
Well, as with a 14, 2 12s, and a 9-year-old daughter, of course, none of us as parents want our kids to make any mistakes. Well, reality sets in quite quickly, right?
Right.
And mistakes are going to happen, but it's the teaching that we can take from those mistakes, because we're all going to make mistakes. That's where there can be the lasting memories and just teaching from those mistakes.
And let's give us a concrete example. Mistakes, you mean like spending their money on something they didn't really want, overspending?
Yeah, so they saved. They thought that was a lot, but they decided a hoverboard was more important, and their savings was all gone, and they got one gift. Was that the right decision?
Yes. It's funny that recently happened to my daughter. She was at the mall with her friends, because I have a 12-year-old also. And God bless you if you've got two of them, because I can barely handle one. Mm-hmm. So she's at the mall with her friends, and she does, she gets an allowance, and she also works. So sometimes she has babysitting money and things like that. So she actually accumulates, some money to go out with her friends and do shopping. So she sends me a picture. Mom, do you like the shirt? Do you think I should get it? She needs help deciding whether she should make the purchase or not. So I said, it's cute. I like it. She goes, yes, but if I get it, I'm going to be broke. And I said, well, that's the decision that you have to make. Like that's life. I hope maybe she was assuming I would say, I'll buy it for you, which of course did not happen. And I didn't. So she purchased the shirt. She brings it home and we're talking about it. I said, look, if you don't wear it, you can bring it back. And she ended instead of, yes, I guess maybe it was a mistake purchase because she did end up bringing it back. Thank goodness for return policies. But that was a good lesson for her.
Absolutely. Because
she wanted it in that moment. And about those impulse purchases. When you're a 12-year-old girl, you want everything.
Exactly.
But it was good. And then she did. She said, it was too much money. And she did. She brought it back. And I was glad that happened to her. And of course, the forgiveness was, I guess, the return policy was available. So that worked out in her favor. But it was a great lesson.
Right. And once they understand where that dollar comes from, they can develop that gratitude to say, you know what, there's more to it than that. And whether it's kids or adults, we can all learn from that.
I love it. Larry, and I'm speaking with Larry Kallevig, by the way, for those of you who just tuned in. Larry is from Haven Financial. Larry, do you have these tips on a website where we can find you?
Absolutely. HavenFinancialGroup.com. You can find them there.
And you're here in the Twin Cities, correct, sir?
The office is in Burnsville, Minnesota.
Burnsville, Minnesota. Haven Financial Group. Well, Larry, I thank you so much for joining us on the show, and thanks for these great tips.
Thank you. Have a great evening.
Have a great holiday. Thank you. Yeah, I tell you, it's tough. It is tough. Money and kids and being grateful and stop asking for things. That is a struggle all the time. And then, of course, as a parent, you like to buy things too, or you need to buy things for your home, and they see you buying things. One of them even said to me, well, Mom, you get to go to the grocery store and buy anything you want. I was like, well, yes, because that keeps you alive, because those are groceries and those are needs. But I get how they see that. I get how they, you can just put stuff in the cart and that is how they view it. And again, therein is the learning. Larry had some more stats that he gave me. He says it's been shown that kids who understand gratitude have better grades, are less likely to get depressed. And for adults, gratitude can help reach financial goals. One study even showed when people reflected on things that they were grateful for, it increased their financial patience, I guess, waiting to make purchases, about 12%. Really increase their financial patience by about 12%. So they're able to resist the lure of, that get it now, buy it now, just get something and financially prepare themselves more for the future. Gratitude.